Here's how to make sourdough bread, day 2, folding and shaping.
It's now 8 a.m. the next day and our levain is super ripe and ready to go. Now to make our bread dough, we're going to add 650 grams of 100-degree water to the bowl of a stand mixer, 200 grams of the ripe levain, 900 grams of bread flour, and 100 grams of whole wheat flour. Let this mix on low until it all comes together into a dough, and then let it sit on the counter for 30 to 40 minutes for the autolyse. This gives the flour time to fully hydrate and results in a stretchier dough and a fluffier crumb. After 40 minutes, we're going to add 20 grams of salt and 25 grams of water and then mix on low for 2 minutes. We'll then bump up the speed to medium and mix for another 2 to 4 minutes. I like to let my dough mix for closer to 4 minutes at this stage, as it tends to result in a fluffier loaf, but figure out what works best for you. Once mixed, scrape down the hook with a soaking wet hand, transfer to an oiled metal bowl, cover, and let sit at room temperature or in a warm environment for 30 minutes. After 30 minutes, we're going to do our first strength building fold. To do this, take an edge of the dough, pull it out until there is tension, and then fold it back into the center of the dough ball. Do this 4 to 5 times or until you've gotten all the sides of the dough, and then round off your dough ball with several tuck and folds like you see me doing here. Once you have a nice ball, cover again and let sit for another 30 minutes. After fermenting for a total of 60 minutes, the dough should start to look gassy and have a nice shine to it. We're now going to do a second set of strength building folds and then finish off with the tuck and folds. Basically what we're doing here with all of the folding is aligning the gluten structures that have been forming so that they create a network that will support the dough as it rises and result in a light and airy interior for our bread. When you're satisfied with your dough, shape into a ball, cover again, and let rise for 2 to 3 hours. After 3 hours, the dough will have grown about 50% and be quite buoyant. Turn it out onto a lightly floured surface and then divide into 2 equal pieces. I highly recommend using a kitchen scale for this to make sure you get 2 even loaves of bread in the end. Then take a piece, grab a corner, stretch it out, and then bring it back into the center and do that all around the entire ball. Flip the dough over, seam side down, and then rotate the dough ball on the counter in a circular motion, tucking the dough underneath itself as you go. This helps to create tension in the dough so it's able to hold itself up as it rises. Repeat with the second piece, cover both with the towel, and let sit for 20 minutes. After 20 minutes, flip both dough balls over and move one to the side. To shape this dough, stretch out the top edge, the 2 sides, and the bottom edge, bringing them all back into the center of the dough. Do a quick baker's roll and then roll the dough into a log, tucking it in tightly as you go. Seal off the seam with a bench scraper and then drop it in a floured Banneton basket. I'd recommend using rice flour for the Banneton baskets, as it does not contain gluten and will prevent the dough from sticking. Repeat with the second piece of dough, cover with a towel, and then let them sit on the counter for 1.5 to 2 hours. After 2 hours, the loaves should have grown again about 50% in size and will spring back when poked. Wrap tightly with saran wrap and place in the fridge to ferment for at least 12 hours and up to 72. I tend to bake my loaves off the next day, but I'm still playing around with that timing. Anyway, we'll see these babies tomorrow.
Follow for day 3.